Okay, good morning, everyone. We have Coach Williams with us, and we'll ask him to make some comments about this week's practice and this week's game, and then we will take questions from everybody. Again, keep yourselves muted unless you're asking a question, and raise your hand if you have a question. So with that, Donte, I'll turn it over to you.
Well, this week's of practice has been pretty darn good. Guys that went out there competed, still after us not having a game last week. So we have gotten quite a few guys fresh. At the same time, we still got a couple guys that are dinged up. They went out there the past 2 days and had competitive practices. I think it's also has helped the way that we have practiced and preparing to get Jackson more prepared for the game coming up. At the same time, Miller has gotten a lot of reps with the twos. And, our receivers rotate so much, he's also gotten reps with the ones. So I think that would help both quarterbacks going forward. Keontae Ingram coming back is huge for us, and just, continue our running back rotation that we have going on there. And, just quite a few bodies on defense also coming back. We still have quite a few guys dinged up, like the Corey Foremans, and, Trigg is still coming back. So, we're looking forward to guys, and hopefully, some guys will be able to make some game time decisions. And if not, then we'll get them prepared for the following week.
Okay, we'll take questions, and we'll start with Ryan Karchi.
Hey, Donte. Obviously, this is an emotional game every year. Do you do anything in particular this year to kind of just get the competitive juices flowing, being that it's a rivalry?
Of course. You always got to do something a little particular, to get the juices flowing. But that's something that would be kind of kept amongst the team. But yeah, we definitely have. And then, you got some certain groups on campus that's making sure they protect certain things. You got the Trojan Knights and the Helenes and different organizations like that. So, there's a lot of things going on campus, especially this week with it being a rivalry game.
Obviously this season hasn't gone as you guys would have hoped, but how much, in your opinion, can a big rivalry game like this just kind of redeem a season that might be going in the wrong direction in other senses?
It's just been a challenge. I don't know about it truly going wrong. There's been a lot of things that goes on, in a football season. And, we have had some ups and downs and some bumps in the road, but the same thing, these guys haven't quit on one another, and they haven't quit on this team. So there's still a lot of guys out here fighting and competing, but a rivalry game is always huge to win. Not only does it give you bragging rights, for pretty much that season, but some of these guys are doing bragging rights for life. So it's a very huge game, and, it means a lot to this, football team and to a lot of players on this team.
Okay, Adam Brosward.
Hey, Donte, when you have a, backup quarterback coming in, do you do anything with the rotations on offense to make him more comfortable, like maybe playing some receivers who haven't had as much playing time this year, but worked with Jackson more when he was working with the second team during camp and during practices?
Well, we never really have that issue. Receivers are a special position, whereas, guys just rotate really plays. It's not like a receiver kind of just stays in with the ones for 5 plays or stays in with the twos for 5 plays. It's always been a rotation. So a lot of these guys have gotten work together, and the same goes for like one-on-ones. There's no telling who's the quarterback throwing you the ball or who's the receiver running it. So it's, they've always had chemistry. I think that's not really what group you go with. I think that's just a period over time. And we're fortunate enough that Jackson came here as a mid-year. So he's gotten a lot of reps with a lot of these receivers that we have.
Okay, we'll go to Antonio.
Donte, I know you had a lot of confidence in Max Gibbs when he changed positions. Is it surprising you how much he's ending up playing now?
No, we lack depth at the position, just period. And Max is actually, he's a big body, but one thing that is, will really shock a lot of people is just how athletic he is. He's really agile and light on his feet. He plays with good pad level. So, the sky's still the limit for him, just for simple fact is the more in shape that he gets, and, just with his weight loss and everything else, I think the better, he will become. So it's still the best to come out of Max Gibbs.
What have you thought about his progression on that side of the ball?
I thought it's been good. Vic has done a great job with him as far as, making sure that he's starting to understand the schematics of things and not just being a guy that just goes out there and just runs into the blocker. He's starting to understand the things that we asked of him based off the particular defense.
A reminder to raise your hand if you have a question. Back to Ryan Karchi.
Dante, being an LA guy, any sort of rivalry experiences for you growing up?
I mean, I really never got a chance to go to one, but just in general, it's one of those games where households are split, and friendships are split just for a particular week, and it could be a best friend. He just happens to cheer for the other team because maybe a family member went to that particular school. So, it's one of those things that growing up, it's always a week where families are divided and friendships are divided just for a week. So, it's no different this week.
Thanks.
Shotgun.
Dante, there's been a number of guys that have kind of just been absent from practice. Have you guys had any roster attrition, or is everyone still on the roster?
Everyone's still on the roster. A lot of guys are starting to get rehab inside, or like I say, it's getting close to the end of the semester. So some guys that maybe are hurt or different things that's going on, making sure they handle and take care of their academic responsibilities. So I mean, it's different if guys can actually go out there and practice and they're doing well in school. But if a guy is all of a sudden hurt or he's out for a little bit, and schoolwork is lingering because some of these classes are a little harder than others, just trying to make sure that they stay, of course, academically also.
Has that been the case with Casey Collier? We haven't seen him in probably a month now.
Casey Collier is handling some things right now, just personally.
Okay, Ryan Abraham.
Morning, Dante. Just thinking about the rescheduled game and looking at the early signing period. Sorry, phone rings right as soon as I ask a question. The early signing period, there's only really one weekend that you guys can host official visits before the signing period. Like, how much of a challenge is that? I mean, obviously there's a lot of challenges already, but put on you guys where you have an away game that one of 2 weekends that would have been available for official visits.
I mean, that's part of the football season. It's it's going to be a lot of challenges, and even in your personal life, it's all about how you endure those things. So it definitely be a challenge. That last weekend will be huge for us. And even in the head coaching meeting that we had at USC, I pretty much talked to all the head coaches, and they all said that they'll be on deck. So it'll be a huge weekend for us recruiting wise. I mean, we'll probably have anywhere between 15 to 20 some official visits that one weekend. So it definitely would be huge. And then, we're fortunate enough that some of these guys could come back maybe for a second visit. So that, even increases the number. But yeah, it will definitely be a challenge for us, especially it's hard to have guys come during the week, especially during that time. You got, people that have jobs, parents and everything else. But at the same time, you'll be doing home visits, and, I'll be out pretty much probably out the state during that time. So it's just, it will be a challenge, but it'll be something that, we'll endure and we'll handle.
And then just quick, you coach on the defensive backs. What have you seen from the UCLA secondary? They seem to have struggled a little bit this year, but what kind of stuff do you think this USC offense can exploit with the Bruins defensive backs?
I don't know about exploit. I mean, they still have a lot of good players back there, and they ask those guys to go out there on islands and play man to man. So, they make their fair share of plays too. So, a lot of those guys that they have in the secondary, I know because I recruited or I watched them over the years. So they still have some, really good players. And, everybody sees guys giving up yards and they think it's a secondary, but it could be a backer or DN covering somebody. So it adds up. It's not just always on the secondary.
Thanks.
Back to Shotgun.
Dante, what would be the key for Jackson Dart handling UCLA's blitz packages and the different pressures that they're going to try to bring?
It's all about being comfortable, and it's all about him going out there and trusting the guys that's on the field with him and them trusting him, because, he's going to have to make the right reads and kind of, sight on scene and adjust to, things they do. In this particular game, both teams always have a couple of things they maybe haven't shown all year. So just to say that he's going to see exactly everything he's seen on film, it won't happen that particular way. There'll be some new things out there, and it's all about how he adjusts and how the guys on the field adjust with him.
Last call for any questions. Okay, I don't see any more. So, Coach, thanks for joining us. Media, thanks for being here this morning, and we look forward to seeing everybody at 1 o'clock on Saturday.
I expect everyone on Saturday to be in Cardinal. Don't wear no blue. Fight on.